Hello everybody, how are you today? I hope that all of you are doing great. Um, Welcome to this video. This is my first video in YouTube channel. In this video I would like to talk about the struggles and the hardship that Moroccan youth are facing nowadays in Morocco. Now, answering the question why Moroccan youth lack direction, they don't know exactly where they are going or where they must go exactly. Of course, there are so many reasons and obstacles in this context. It could be considered internal factors, internal, external factors, and I mean by internal things that comes from inside of youth. Um, I mean, thinking too much or whatever. We'll see this. And external factors, these what are matter most for us here in this video, which is the external factors which are related to economic, politics, culture, society, things that we cannot control for us as a youth. And actually, I am one of the youth nowadays who are struggling and facing problems also. So I think what force youth to lose their direction and feel they are frustrated, they are distracted, they don't know exactly what they are doing because of these external factors. Now, let me give you a context so that you can understand what exactly I want to talk about. Now, the first struggle that young man or youth face in Morocco are finding a job. And I think um, these are one of the most and the top problem for the young man is how I can find a job that can protect my dignity, a job that pay a good salary, whether in private sector or even in public sector, of course. The problem here is in in public sector, the people that are graduating each year more than the government um, employment. I mean, of course, the government, it depends how many positions. I think um, this year we witnessed maybe 36, I think, thousand, I think, position, maybe, like this, approximately. And just imagine how many youth are jobless, are unemployed. More than 1 million. More than 1 million. Do you know how? And these people are getting more and more every year. Every year, yeah. So let me give you the context more. Just imagine that you are a student and studying the whole of your life. You get your baccalaureate and you're applied whether for university or in private institution, whatever. You got your bachelor degree and you are planning for your life that you will be employed, that you will find a job, and you worked hard during your life. You studied day and night, and after you got your bachelor degree, you find so many struggles again. You have to decide whether to find a job or to continue your studies. If you don't find a job, which likely most of people don't here in Morocco, they will continue their studies and master degree. So you continue your master degree and you earn your master degree, and it will happen the same if you don't have the chance to find a job at these 2 years in master program. You will continue even if you get your a master degree, and you must take the decision to find a job whether in public or in private, and mostly you will find it in private. Now here where the dilemma and problem comes also in private sector. Now youth, what they find is that they go to search for a job, and even they find these jobs, they find that the salary is less than expected, is not a salary that can respect the human dignity, is not a salary that we can consider it a salary. It's like you are wasting your time and your body, you are wasting your energy on something that is useless, of course. Now, I think this is one of the problems and struggles are economic, 100%, and even these economic struggles are the purpose of not getting married for youth man, and not only for youth, also for people who are aged from 30 to 40 or more. So, but these are not all the reasons, of course. Now, so youth, these these are one of the economic struggles and problems that the youth face, of course. They are not finding a job that can protect their dignity and their life, since he struggled maybe 20 years studying and planning to find a job, whether in private sector or maybe in public sector. But at the end, he didn't find any job. And even the government policies, the government plans can be considered useless for youth. And with statistics, of course, approximately more than 1 million people are unemployed, and especially for those who has degrees, whether master or bachelor or PhD, and even those who has PhD, many, so much, and so many people are not employed that has PhD, doctorate degree. So the government policies are useless and can be considered these one of the problems, of course. So we looked at the topic, at the phenomenon from economic perspective. Youth are not finding jobs that can protect their dignity and whatever. Now moving on to the social and cultural problem here. Now, of course, youth are distracted between preserving, because the question here, why Moroccan youth are lacking direction. Now, they are lacking direction because of economic factors and obstacles. And how here also they have lost their direction because of modernity, as we know, modernity, the concept of modernity. I think they are losing the direction because they have to choose between traditional culture of Morocco and the emerging culture, or maybe the global culture, the universal culture of the world. Because with the social media and TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, young men are observing and learning and consuming so much content, and so they are influenced and their minds are shaped by these cultures that are consuming. So what they are doing is that they are comparing between other countries' lifestyle, or maybe the influencers' lifestyle, or maybe comparing themselves with other people who are maybe looked rich, or maybe um, people who seems to have too much money, or it depends, of course. So youth are struggling in the digital era, of course, with the transformation that is happening in the modern societies, in contemporary societies. Youth are now, they think that, what exactly should I stick to my own culture, traditional culture, which not most, we can say part of them see it as a backward culture, and even though some of them see it as unique and a culture that must be preserved. All aspects of culture. I'm talking about language, religion, and even now young young men and youth are getting less religious. Of course, I mean in the Arab world, not only in Morocco, of course, and this is proven by statistics, not just a claim. Yeah, I think as I said, they are losing their direction by the the concept that was coined by the West, modernity, that you have to abandon your traditional, um, your custom, your religion, your language, or whatever, your culture generally, the concept of culture, and you have to focus only on the economic progress and technology. I mean, this is okay. We don't have a problem with that, but the problem is when you prevent and abandon your culture, of course, your culture um, transcendent from your ancestors, from your father to your father to your father's father. So and going back to the past. So so here youth are lost because of the comparison that's happened in the social media. They compare themselves to many different people. They witness um, so many struggles, um, and also they witness so many wonderful lives that the other are living. So I think that, yeah, that can be considered one of the reasons also. So simply, youth are living between two walls, the world of um, traditional expectations and modern expectations, what they expect and what. And here, um, the lack of direction also can come from our own environment, because as I said before about economic struggles and job and this. I mean, you are getting older, and we have this mindset in our society. Your family, your neighbors, everybody are expecting from you to be something. So here, when we uh, put ourselves in a loop, in a box, and lock to ourselves and start overthinking about so many things, of course. Now, especially when you are chained, when you are controlled by your family, by their thinking, of course, that they are expecting from you to be something, to become something. Since you are studying, since you are doing something in your life, you must do something. You must be a successful person. If you don't succeed, now here you'll become marginalized. They will start looking at you um, um, as a failure project. So you are a failure project. Okay. So I think their youth are struggling too much nowadays because of the environment, because of the economic struggles, and I think I will plan for another video in which I talk about the economic struggles, about the youth, and why they avoid getting married, of course. And this is a problem. This is a phenomenon that exists in Morocco, and we will discuss it also from um, static using static. Yeah, we will prove our discussion by using statics and numbers, how many youth are not getting married, and the problems, and most of the time are economic struggles. So if the government know how um, to know, if the government know how to um, come up with new policies um, that focus so much on observing, on maintaining, and using the youth, of course, by using the abilities, by using the youth in certain places to recover the state's struggles, of course, but instead they focus on things that are not benefiting society at all, of course. I mean, we'll discuss it in other videos, so stop jumping ideas. I would like to just focus on the answering the question why youth, Moroccan youth lack direction. So they lack direction because of economic failure of the state. They lose direction because of the comparison. They compare themselves to other people in the social media, to especially the people whether in Morocco, who people who live in the West, maybe Asia, whatever. So what happens is that the escape from the world, from the real world, to live in another world. They try to live to escape by watching series, anime, scrolling all the time on their phones, gaming. So it's a type of escaping from reality. We try to hide ourselves into a temper um, because of how society look. I mean, there are so many things we don't accept it that exist in society. I mean, one of these, as I said, the government policies and youth finding themselves studying the whole and half of their life and not getting a job, maybe finding a job, and even if they find a job, they they are used by these people who have companies or corporations or private institutions, and the salary is can be considered as something useless. You cannot cover your your basic thing, your basic need, what you want. I think that's all what I have in my mind now. I will maybe post another video in coming time talking about something different, tackling something different from different perspective and lenses. Maybe I will discuss philosophy, culture, sociology, psychology, depend, maybe religion. So goodbye guys, and into the next video. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching my video.